Here we go, fellas. Harry with Pro Schmo Bets. You thought I would not be providing a prediction video this week, huh? I'm under the weather. COVID struck. But hey, not only did COVID strike, man, I lost $10,000 on that Rose Namajunas bet, right? But, we're 5-1 on the We Want Picks lock of the week with Jacob's Bets, right? So, of course, we bet the one and only Brandon Moreno. All right, so we're 5-1 with that loss being Daniel Pinetto. If you want more information on this, visit us at proschmobets.com. All right, hey, Melissa Mullins, Claudia Segula. Listen, a lot of folks are freaked out about why the odds are so wide on this card. It's very simple, guys. The casino families, they cannot afford to give you lines any more inexpensive, any more cheap. They can't do it. Baseball is finally off the items list. So they have to figure these things out, sort them out before they can start allowing reasonable odds, what we would consider reasonable, right? And there it goes, right? So we all got to pay the price for it. And they're not doing well with NHL and NBA, right? So a lot of the public, they're winning too much. All right, here we go. Melissa Mullins, Claudia Segula. Unlike what every capper has told you now, probably feeding you Monday through Thursday, Melissa Mullins is this no-gi incredible grappler. She has so many merits, and absolutely not. Claudia Segula's got the best scrambles in contrast to Melissa Mullins, and she's got the overall. She can set up traps better with her jiu-jitsu. Her striking is as good as Melissa, if not better. And I think with the height and reach, she'll do well here. All right, everyone that Melissa Mullins has practically faced is a striker with mediocre grappling. Now you have Claudia Segula here going up against Melissa Mullins, and I think Segula will get the job done here. All right, for those reasons. Here we go. Tresean Gore versus Antonio Trocoli. Trocoli had fought this guy on Contender Series many years ago in 2019. This is when UFC was interested in him. I think they wanted to build him up to then probably you have him compete with someone they believe would make out a better prospect in the rankings. And the guy, I think his name was Matt Burr or something to that effect. It's a no contest on his topology record. The guy has absolutely no takedown defense. And what does Antonio Trocoli have? The one-dimensional offensive spamming of the double leg, right? That's what he likes to go to try and get you against the wall, to submit you, all right? So with all these issues with Antonio pulling out of all his fights, I would admit too, I hope you would too agree with me that Tresean Gore is also on the naughty list, folks. All right, with Antonio Trocoli, they're looking to cut these guys. These guys just know how to milk the UFC PI, health insurance, and so on and so forth. All right, at least Tresean Gore is 30 years of age. Tresean Gore on the money line. Listen, you want a more technical analysis, you have to visit proschmobets.com. I'll tell you what, I understand Gore's hands. I get you. His striking, I get you. It's not the best thing you've seen all day. However, with the guy he's facing, you'll see him show out. Next, Cody Stamann, Damon Blackshear. By the way, Tresean Gore is going to definitely bust again, like he did with Cody Brundage when it comes time to someone who knows how to hit him in the body. All right, he does not like to get hit, man. He does not like to get hit in the face, the body, the legs. He does not like to get hit, but he can hit, which is great. All right, in this fight, he's taking Trocoli down and out. Cody Stamann, Damon Blackshear. Oh my God, Damon Blackshear is the tallest bantamweight on the roster. Taller than Cody Sanhagen, believe it or not. All right, taller than Mario Bautista. I got nothing else to tell you. Cody Stamann is a flyweight, the tallest flyweight on the roster. Matthew Semlisberger, injury. I think he tore a tendon on his elbow. He's coming back to face Charles Radke, who's a very predictable striker. I hope Matthew Semlisberger comes in with an uppercut, finishes Charles, but Charles got great cardio. So in proportion to this fight, I don't see how an injured Semlisberger could get the job done here, unless, he did make claim that the folks that were helping in his rehabilitation were those credentialed to do so in other sports like the MLB, if I'm not mistaken, which is pretty wild, man. Pretty wild. I'd love to take Semlisberger, like half of all the cappers, right, as the dog of the week. But I can't do that when Charles Radke has faced good competition. Okay, good competition, has showed off what he's good at and what he's not. And if you add those things together, you can see how the styles mesh well here, and how Semelsberger can be found on the ground often, or can be found hurting, okay, or moving back. That's it. I'd like to see Semelsberger win though, but off of injury, absolutely not. We just saw what happened with Amir Albazi. Here we go. Santos versus Zach Scrogan. I think a lot of folks are saying that Santos by knockout. No, Zach is way, 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 way between welterweight and middleweight. All right, up against Santos, who is a sizable welterweight. Don't get me wrong, but is of age. Is of age. Okay, so we're not talking Sean Brady here. Okay, we're not talking that height and reach with a great skill set that some would think synonymous with Brady, right? But you need age on your side for that. Gaston Bolanos, Cortavius Romeos. Yes, all the cappers on YouTube, great, good observation. Cortavius Romeos is a bit chinny. He's a bit chinny. A lot of apprehension in his shots once he gets hit. So when he's absorbing hits, he does scramble to grapple. He does scatter to figure out what other tools he can employ so that he can avoid you reading him too much in that regard. With Gaston Bolanos, his shot selection too wide. Too clear. The power is very consistent through three of his last fights. Okay, we put an overlay on the fight video so we can tell if there's increments, okay, or exponential development in power, speed, timing. And Gaston Bolanos is what you've seen, and that's all she wrote, my friends. I would like to see Romeus get it done in the grappling by submission. That'd be exciting. Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Denise Gomez. Denise is not as polished as you might think, and she is by no means a -4 500. Carolina, though, however, is not your dog of the week. It's nearly impossible to win this fight. She could get finished, so she's going to have to really counter Denise and counter with power. All right, folks? Man, Carolina might get put down this fight. Wild, folks. All right, Mansour Abdul Malik, Dusko Tordovic. I think the ligament reconstruction surgery on his left leg. God, folks, another injured fighter against a wrestler. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding. Get out of here. I like this. I don't like Jillian Robertson. I don't like Jillian as a strawweight. Absolutely not. Her punches, her power, her striking is absolutely average. She just drops down a few notches from flyweight to strawweight. I could almost guarantee you she is the tallest strawweight on the roster, friends. The tallest, okay? Like Corey Sandhagen, Damone Blackshear to the bantamweight division. She's incredibly tall. So you can see how weak her shots are. You've seen it, all right? You've watched tape. Luana Pinheiro, can she exploit Jillian on the feet? She could. But at the end of the day, Robertson also has the cardio, so that allows her that complement in strawweight. Enough time, too, for her to develop her striking. That's why she came down in weight. And she'll move back up in flyweight. I hope she contends for the belt, man. She'd be the first female Canadian to earn the flyweight belt. That'd be pretty exciting. I don't know how she's going to do with the wrestlers, but I could almost guarantee you she can submit Erin Blanchfield. I'll tell you that much. She can submit Macy Barber at flyweight. You heard it here first. Gerald Mearshart, Rainer de Ryder. All right, so RDR, man, I did screen through a lot of his work, and he has cut out to be what you folks have made him out to be. All right, double champ. And the reason why he didn't pan out at one and why he took those losses and just ran off is because, unfortunately, the roid cycles, right? The juicing does not affect him as good as it does the other fighters. So, they can take advantage of it, whereas his body is not adjusting to it. And so he can't play fair with them. And now at the UFC's got anti-doping. All right, so he's got a good shot here. Gerald Mearshart likes to be on his back. I think so. And RDR enjoys being on top, man. I think the problem here, and I think what people are overlooking, saying that GM3 is the dog, is the 12-6, right? The new rules. All right. And that's what I think RDR is going to secure a win with. All right. We move on. Turcio. Man, I really like Turcio in this spot, believe it or not. I do. I like him. Bernardo Sopaj, though, he's relentless, man. The only thing is, because I like Turcio's scrambles, right, against Sopaj. The thing is that Sopaj does have power, man, in those strikings. And Turcio is difficult to get out of there. I think Turcio's like a Mexican American. Only reason why Rosas was able to get through Turcios is because Raul Rosas Jr.'s got grappling. I'm telling you, he's credentialed in jiu-jitsu, whereas Bernardo Sopaj is not. All right, folks. So I don't know what's going to happen here, but I wouldn't place a bet on Sopaj. I'd like to watch here and see what happens because Turcio could be that dog of the night, folks. He might even come in a bit overweight tomorrow, 3-4 pounds overweight. All right, so you heard it here first. All right, so Paj is grappling nothing like Raul Rosas Jr.'s, folks. Even if he wins this fight, ain't nothing like Raul Rosas Jr.'s ground game. Neil Magny, Carlos Prates. I do not like Carlos Prates. I think he's incredibly overrated. Yes, he is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I'll give you that. I just don't think that he's got the championship cardio, right? You got to have at least 4 rounds in you, man. You got to have 4 rounds. You're like Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor has 4 rounds. You saw he was defeating Habib until round 4. He said, I got no more. But he showed out. He struck against Habib. He defended against Habib. He scored against Habib. I think he took a round off on Habib. All right. So Carlos Prates, man, the end of him is near. That cardio is absolutely no good. It's like when you feature Sean Strickland versus Abbas Nurmagomedov. All right. So Neil Magny, what's he going to do? Clinch here against Prates, be on his back. Prates is just going to elbow him down, probably submit him against the wall. It's just the way it goes, friends. All right. KO props minus 450. Wild. You heard it here first. For more information, proschmobets.com.